In 2022, Apple made the shocking decision to kill the entire iPod product line. But did you know that they planned this way back in 2006? The secret behind this bold move lies in one word: disruption.
If you're a tech enthusiast, startup founder, or investor, it's crucial to understand why disruption alone doesn't guarantee future success. Your career, your investments, and your dreams depend on it.
So stay with us to uncover the truth behind Apple's game-changing strategy and learn how you can apply these lessons to your own journey.
Hi there, I'm Bertrand, and I'm the founder of App Economy Insights.
And I'm Stephanie, tech veteran, engineer, and creator. I just read the book Build by Apple executive and Nest founder Tony Fadell. Highly recommend. And in it, he describes 3 phases of product innovation. Disruption, a fork in the evolutionary tree of a product, something fundamentally new that changes the status quo, usually by taking a novel or a revolutionary approach to an old problem. Execution, actually doing what you promised to do and doing it well. And evolution, a small incremental step to make something better. So let's dive into each of them.
Before we dive into the 3 phases of tech disruption and some fascinating examples throughout tech history, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. You'll get instant access to our weekly videos as they are released, and it will help others discover our channel so we can keep bringing you content that will help you become a better tech professional, business leader, and investor. So first off, you might think the size of a company is a good indicator of what kind of product builder they are. Upstarts and startups are the usual source of disruptive technologies. Take Uber, Airbnb, Robinhood, and Stripe. Meanwhile, established companies can sometimes lack the flexibility to adapt quickly to new threats, which allows disruptors to move upstream over time and eat up more customer segments. Then bigger companies move into the defensive. There are plenty of examples of this. Blockbuster digging their heels as Netflix threatened their market share, Slack and Discord taking on enterprise chat apps.
But company size is not always the most important factor. It has more to do with the company's appetite for risk and whether they want to wait until a technology or a business model is proven before taking a plunge. In either case, if a company's not looking ahead and innovating, they might fall so far behind that they just never catch up. In fact, many tech veterans that I've worked with share the same view. A V1 product should be a disruption. And it's not just about products. Disruption can be a product, service, or sales channel, or a supply chain.
Amazon was a disruptive service long before they got into making hardware, like the Kindle, which was also disruptive. Company can disrupt how things are sold, delivered, serviced, financed, marketed, or recycled.
And for every company looking to disrupt, it's all a balancing act that you as a product builder or investor need to pay attention to. Your product can't be so disruptive that you can't execute, but not disruptive enough that no one actually cares.
You need something that will make investors and customers stop in their tracks and say, wow, tell me more.
At the same time, you can't disrupt too many things too fast. Otherwise, regular people can't understand or recognize what you made. Meta, for example, faced a staggering $13.7 billion loss on Reality Labs in 2022 after its metaverse pivot. Many consumers still struggle to grasp the concept or its purpose. So imagine if Tesla opted to manufacture electric cars with 5 wheels and 2 steering wheels. I mean, people would be baffled, right? While improving the dashboard is acceptable, the vehicle still has to resemble a car. See, it's essential not to push people too far outside their comfort zone or their mental model, at least initially.
Let's say a company has disrupted successfully. Now it's time to execute. But even if they do execute their ideas well, it may not be enough. If they are revolutionizing a major dug-in industry like Tesla did with EVs, it may also need to disrupt the marketing channel, manufacturing, logistics, and business model.
Tesla started with one huge disruption, making EVs attractive to consumers for the very first time. But as every car maker followed their lead, they were in danger of becoming just another EV manufacturer in a market full of them. So they started electrifying different kinds of cars, pioneered innovative charging networks, showroom stations, battery technology, and supply chain management.
By doing so, Tesla ensures that competitors must disrupt every aspect of their operations just to stay in the race. As the EV market matures and more automakers offer electric options, customers will turn their attention to the additional innovative features that Tesla has introduced and perfected. This comprehensive approach to industry disruption effectively constructs a formidable barrier to entry commonly known as building a moat.
You might think at that point a company can put their feet on the table and chill, but no. Now they have to evolve. Assuming the product V1 is a success, V2 is typically an evolution of V1, refined using data and insights from actual customers. It's where they should double down on the original disruption, but provide significantly more functionality. Look, Apple did this with every generation of the iPod. Lighter, more storage, longer charges.
But that can't last forever. A company can only evolve for so long. Competition will close in. Once Apple made the iPod, the competition like BlackBerry started putting MP3s and a bunch of other things on the phone. Calls, texting, music, and of course, the snake game.
Ooh, I definitely set some records on that game.
And plus, the world was adopting cell phones like crazy in 2007. Data networks were becoming faster and cheaper.
Apple knew that people would be able to stream music, which would disrupt the iPod business. So they needed to disrupt themselves and kick themselves in their own ass. See, the iPod was Apple's best performing non-Mac product for 15 years and sometimes ate up 50% of revenue. They knew that they had to make the iPhone, even though they knew it was probably going to kill the iPod. It was an enormous risk.
But the competition will only wallow in anger for so long. Then they'll do everything they can to catch up. We've seen this happen across cloud computing, streaming, connected home devices, and now AI. Companies have to fundamentally change who they are as a business and keep moving, especially for big companies. It takes a leader and culture that's not afraid to disrupt what made them successful.
Apple finally killed the entire product line, and since its launch, they have sold an estimated 450 million iPod products. But the iPhone was undoubtedly the right move. They sold over 1.3 billion iPhones worldwide since launch.
This is something to look for in companies. Apple wasn't afraid to let the iPod disruption lead them to a new disruption. The iPhone, which was a revolution in the mobile space, didn't stop there. The iPhone 3G also brought key enhancements like 3G connectivity and GPS. Better yet, the first iPhone didn't even have an app store. That's what ultimately led to the rise of services for Apple, and that built them a shiny new moat.
They're a good example of how companies should always seek out new ways to disrupt themselves. If they wait until competition threatens to keep up or when their business begins to stagnate, it's too late. There are plenty of examples of this. We got Kodak, Nokia, Blockbuster, TiVo, TomTom. I still have my TomTom in my glove box, but I can't say that a lot of people still do.
When a company becomes too big or too comfortable and protects the first innovation that put them on the map, they topple and eventually die.
So what does this mean for you? Whether you're someone working in big tech like I have, thinking of starting a company, investing in companies, or maybe all three, yes, look for disruption across the product, channels, and services, but also for constant evolution and adaptation. And that's often a product of the culture and leadership of a company.
We see new leaders come into tech all the time and change the North Star and business model of a company. Eric Schmidt at Google, Tim Cook at Apple, Bob Iger at Disney. Just keep in mind that joining or investing in companies that create or adopt disruptive technologies carries some risk. It could take years for a disruptive product or model to be adopted by consumers or businesses, if at all. The Segway PT was once touted as a disruptive technology until, well, it wasn't. And the jury's still out on Peloton.
But look for companies that practice a culture of do, fail, learn, over and over again. I do this for anything that I'm working on in life, whether it's building a product, learning a new skill, or producing content.
If you like this video, be sure to comment below on what we should cover next.
Now, check out our other video covering a big disruptor that we mentioned in this video, Tesla. What they're doing well, the EV competition, and how they're planning to kick their own ass to stay alive moving forward. So see you there.